There we go.
Okay.
All right. So here we are,
Yes.
November 20th, 2013.
Yes.
What is your name and where are you originally from?
My name is Julia Vega, but I go by Julie. I'm from El Salvador.
When did you move here and why did you choose to come to America?
I moved here like in 1982, and the reason why my parents brought me here, me and my brothers, because there was a war going on in El Salvador at the time. So it was getting really bad, and we had like no choice to come here. Is where they chose to come, so I didn't really have a choice, you know.
How old were you at the time?
I was 10.
You were 10.
Yeah.
And you came over with your brothers?
No, well, my parents came here first, and they saved up money. I stayed with my grandmother, and they had to pay like $1,000 for each of us to come here. We had to cross the border. Yeah.
What were some of the biggest challenges you faced when you first arrived?
I would have to say we lived over there like in the open space, you know, like in the jungle. It was very tropical, very beautiful, very green. And then we came here and we had to be in one little apartment. This thing went off. Oh, no, it didn't. Yeah, we had this little apartment, and we had to stay in this little apartment because we were afraid immigration was gonna get us.
Mm-hmm.
So all my brothers, it was horrible. It was the worst experience because we stayed in this little place and we watched TV and we like homeschooled for a year. So it was very, very traumatic. And my parents worked most of the time, so me and my brothers just took care of each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you speak English when you came over?
No, none at all. And we had a little TV that you could only play channel 8, and we saw that soap operas. Is that what you call them?
Yeah, soap operas.
And that's how we kind of started learning English.
Wow.
By watching TV.
All right, so you had the challenge of very different atmosphere, being in a confined space, not speaking English. How did you overcome or cope with some of these challenges? You said you learned English from TV.
Yeah.
Were there other coping mechanisms you guys had?
Yeah, we started going to school a year after that, and I had a friend. She's American, like yourself, and we became really good friends. And my goal was to learn English. And she taught me, and I taught her a little Spanish.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges you still face today, and how are you coping with those challenges?
The challenges I still face today are, I hate to see people like not learn English because you go through so much, you know, and then people will put you down for not speaking English and living here.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's hard for people to learn English because, you know, if you start later on in life to learn a new language, it's a little bit harder. I think it's easier when you're a little kid.
Yeah.
But even myself, sometimes, I don't know, you face a little bit of, I don't know, you meet mean people.
Have you experienced negative attitudes,
Yes.
like racism, that type of thing?
Yes. A few years ago, somebody called me a wetback, and I didn't know what that was. And then I was like, I've been living here all these years, and somebody calls you that, it hurts.
Yeah, I'm sure. What do you miss most about your home country?
I miss, like, the fruits. I miss the fruits. I love just go to your backyard and you pick your own fruits. Because my grandmother, she lived like in a ranch. You call it a finca. It's open space, you know. It's a jungle where I come from. So that's what I missed. I miss the rain, the hot weather. But I try to go back as often as I can.
What support services, like clubs, organizations, businesses, government agencies, family, friends, have helped you transition into the United States, if any? I know you mentioned your one friend that helped you with English. Were there any like clubs or organizations that also helped?
Yeah, there was. Well, when I was in school, there was these after-school programs for people that were in ESL, and that helped me. I had a great teacher when I was a little girl, and she took care of us because she knew our background, and she knew my parents had to work all the time. They were always at work, and they gave us clothing sometimes also because we didn't have much, It was very, very hard for my parents because they didn't make much money.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
What are some things that you like the most about living in the United States?
Freedom. And people don't judge you as much as they do over there. They don't care. I just feel like people don't really care what other people are doing,
Yeah.
They don't judge too much. I like that about America. It's a free country. Do what you want. I don't know.
I like the freedom too.
Yeah.
So you have a family, and here, did any of them come? Were they all American? I know you met your husband here.
Yeah, well, he's from Mexico, so.
Did he have trouble adjusting?
Yeah, he still has trouble adjusting. He's the only one here. He has no family members. Like, he had a brother that lived here, but he did not like it, so he went back. Yeah.
Does your husband like it okay, or is it still a struggle for him?
He likes it more than Mexico, because in Mexico he said he had a job, but didn't really pay much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he worked for IGT for a long time, and he made okay money. It was pretty good. He worked a lot of overtime, and that's how he made a lot more money. So then he started having some health problems, and then he got laid off, and it was like all at once, he got really depressed.
Yeah.
And still is depressed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, it is.
If you have family living abroad, how do you communicate with them, and how often?
My mother calls me like every other day. She says it's a lot cheaper if she calls me for like $2. We can talk for like an hour. So she does call me, because if I were to call her, it's kind of pricey.
Right.
So we keep in touch like that, and then my brothers and I, we take turns going to El Salvador because she's by herself and she has Parkinson's disease. That's why she moved there, and the weather really helps her, and she says she feels good over there. But now that she's alone after my dad passed away 2 years ago, we take turns. Like, I'll go, and then my brother goes, and then my other brother goes. Like, we try to be there with her like every 3 months, if we can. So March is my turn to go. I'm excited.
Yay.
Yeah.
How long are you going to go for?
Hopefully 3 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. How can people prepare for life in the U.S. before traveling to the United States? Like, if you could give someone advice.
Oh my God. Expect a big change. Like, the weather is really hard for me because I don't like the winter. I don't like the snow.
Me neither.
I suffer every morning. Like, right now it's cold, but I know it's going to get worse. But I don't think you can prepare yourself after living in a tropical place, with beaches and stuff. It's so beautiful over there, but it's so dangerous. That's why I don't live there. My mother does not want me to live there. She's there because she says that her health issues are getting a little better, but she has Parkinson's disease, and that doesn't get better.
Yeah.
It just gets worse with time.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, last question. We work together at the hospital.
Yeah.
And have you found working at the hospital to be to have its challenges? Being
Yes.
Okay.
It has its challenges because when I was a little girl and I was in El Salvador, I seen a lot of people get killed. And sometimes in the hospital you see things that you don't want to, but it's the way of life, I guess. It's just hard. I see kids that got hurt in El Salvador. And it just brings back memories. I saw kids get shot and it's hard. But